Here I sit on a Wednesday, December 13th, 2023, and this is everything, almost everything that's sold on eBay in the last 24 hours. I also sold a large book lot that I will leave for a separate video to talk about. But these 5 items sold, so 6 in total plus the lot, a record, 2 DVDs, and 2 CDs. So this record, as you can see, is an REM record called Murmur. If you come across it, it can go for decent money. This might be one that I actually would put in my store at this point, but I decided to sell it online because I saw that it was going for around $50, and I had it listed since July, which is when I got it in a trade. So since July 7th of this year is when I got this record, listed it, and it's been sitting for quite a while. So someone came into the store who's a customer, my retail store, and in the past she has traded records with me for store credit so that she can buy other stuff. So this was an excellent condition REM Murmur vinyl record. So I put it up on eBay. It's been sitting for quite a while. I don't believe I've ever had an offer made on it, but I had it listed for $49.99 plus shipping, taking offers. And then I am running currently a 2-week promotion up until Christmas Day, through Christmas Day, that is 25% off of over 1,200 items that have been sitting for a while, including this one. This one hasn't been sitting for years, but it has been sitting for about 6 months, almost 6 months. So I ended up taking, or it's 25% off, so someone ended up buying the record for $37.49 plus shipping. So it's still a great sale. I strongly recommend running these promotions. They have a new function when you go to your active listings in eBay where you can, it just popped up recently, where you can essentially select, actually it selected them for me, which was nice, older items. I don't know exactly how they figured that out, but ended up being, nothing brand new that I've been putting up in the last few months. Most of them were like more than 6 months old. And then I applied 25% off to them, also taking offers as well. And I've been selling a good amount that way. So keep that in mind, especially now during the holidays. Even past the holidays, people will take advantage of that. So I'll probably end up extending that past Christmas, but I want to see how it goes, how much of these items, how many of those items I can sell. So anyway, this one sold for a nice price, $37.49 plus shipping, and it's been sitting for a while, so I'm glad to move it. But records, typically I put them in my store, but this one was priced a bit higher, so I felt that it would sell better online, but I would probably put it in the store at this point because I do have people that are looking for more rare or more certain types of albums, certain genres, that kind of stuff. So that was a nice sale. And then this one is from a Gaylord. This is much older, when I was doing free shipping. So this sold for $8.24 free shipping, but it's got 3 movies on there. So these are the kind of things I'm glad to get rid of that's been sitting around for way too long that I wouldn't list today. And yeah, so glad to get rid of that one. This one is Teletubbies DVD called Again Again. I had it listed for $31.99. It sold for $23.99 plus shipping. I have about 5 or 6 left, but I've sold easily 15 plus, maybe more, since I listed these. This was from a donation from a while ago, earlier in the year. Teletubbies basically can do really well, whether it's VHS or DVD. There's just a massive Teletubbies following, excuse me. And I found that to be true by selling a lot of the DVDs, and also I had a lot of Teletubbies VHS tapes that were pre-recorded off of the TV, and I sold that for a lot of money. There was like 40 of them. These are not pre-designed, pre-recorded, VHS tapes like this, just a VHS tape with all the artwork and all that. It was just blank tapes that have been recorded on, and that sold for a lot of money. So yeah, Teletubbies. Don't walk away from Teletubbies. Always look those up for sure, whether it's VHS or DVD. Even if you happen to come across some that are pre-recorded from a long, long time ago. So keep that in mind. Teletubbies can be worth a lot of money. or even regardless of the media. So not every single one, but most of these DVDs I've been selling for over $20, a good amount over 30. I sold a lot for around $39.99 as well. A good amount of them around that price range or for that price. So keep that in mind. Those are great. These two, I have a Javier Solis Para Ti CD. This came from a donation. This is a book pickup that also had CDs and some DVDs back in September. On September 12th, I picked these up. I'm still selling these. There were some great Spanish language CDs as well as some other great CDs that I've put in the store, in my retail store as well, and sold some of those. But this one sold for $13.49 plus shipping. I took an offer. Glad to sell it. It hasn't been sitting super long, but once I start getting over about 3 months, I definitely want to sell off that stuff. This one here is fairly rare. The Extraordinary Ernesto Oviedo, I think he's a Cuban singer. Siempre Clásico. So this guy, when you scan the barcode on the back on Amazon, it says not found. And then when I try to look it up even by the name, it wasn't found. So there might be a listing on Amazon for it, but I couldn't find it. So this might be one that if you're in the store, you're scanning, and you see that, oh, nothing popped up, you're not going to bother if you're just an Amazon seller, and you're going to pass it up. But I ended up selling it for $22.49, which was the 25% off deal on eBay. And this came from a Gaylord. So some things that even though they have a barcode, even it might not show up on Amazon, doesn't mean that it's not worth the money. This one I would look up on eBay, especially because it's not showing up on Amazon. If I were in a store, if I were scanning, just because it looks kind of interesting, kind of unique. I've never seen this guy before or CDs by this guy, so I would have looked it up anyway, even if it wasn't sitting or hadn't pulled out of a Gaylord. Yeah, so just remember that. Just because something doesn't pop up on Amazon doesn't mean that it's not worth money and that it's not worth looking up and that it won't sell in another platform like eBay. Because Amazon and eBay are two different platforms, obviously, but they're also tend to have different customers. People that buy things on eBay, a lot of them don't buy things on Amazon and vice versa. So, a lot of people, I love Amazon because I can just buy something through Prime and get it same day, next day, etc. Or even not Prime, but nonetheless, because lots and lots of people do non-Prime offers, obviously, because that's where I'm only selling on Amazon right now and still making sales. But remember, that it's different buyers, different platforms. So Amazon's not the only way, and eBay's not the only way, which is why I really am a fan of selling on both platforms. And it's always a challenge to come from one and then try to learn how to sell on the other. But I think it's worth that challenge and worth learning to have the ability to sell items. Basically, you can sell anything that's worth any money if you have both platforms, if you're doing media. There's just some books, like I talked about in another video, I believe yesterday, that are selling, like in general, that just sell a lot better on Amazon. If it's a newer book, just certain books that there's more opportunity there to sell that book than there is on eBay. There's not as much interest, and people aren't going there. People tend to buy more books on Amazon than eBay, outside of collectible books. eBay tends to be the place for that. First edition, signed copies, rare and collectible books. So Amazon is more of barcoded books, ISBN books, newer books, textbooks, of course. But you can sell all kinds of fiction and nonfiction on Amazon. But they're just different. So keep that in mind. And that's why if you're coming from eBay, only been selling on eBay, and trying to sell on Amazon, that's why it's a little smoother to do merchant fulfilled or fulfilled by merchant. And it's the same as eBay in the sense of you are listing it yourself. You don't even have to take photos on Amazon. You can, but you don't have to, and I don't recommend it. So you're just listing on Amazon, storing the item yourself, shipping it yourself. It's the same as eBay. It's essentially eBay just through Amazon. And if you're coming from Amazon, only doing FBA, and then trying to do eBay, it's going to be weird because you're used to having Amazon ship your items for you and deal with all of that and storing them. So that's going to be strange, but if you really want to open up what you can sell when it comes to, especially if you want to get into collectible items, or even just, like these, right? That can do better on eBay than on Amazon, especially this one here, that CD I was talking about. It's going to be strange going from FBA to eBay, but I think it's worth it to kind of be armed with both. And this is me selling media. If you're selling other types of items, then it might be different, right? But for media, I think it's great. Whether it's books, CDs, vinyl records, DVDs, Blu-rays, TV box sets, what do you call it? Video games, all of that stuff, VHS tapes, audio cassette tapes, all that stuff. It's good. It's really helpful to sell on both platforms. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Take care.